What's good, guys? We're back with another one. I mean, I know this probably been ran through a little bit, but I just needed to run it myself. This is Adam discussing why he didn't throw one punch in that fight. Let's get right into it.
One topic that I feel stands above all others in terms of what we must discuss today, and that is my honorary, it doesn't seem like the right word. It's not really an honorable thing, but more of a humiliation ritual. I see that term a lot in the comments. I got my ass whooped this weekend, and this is my first time appearing on a podcast since this ass whooping.
You sound different.
What, my voice sounds different?
Yeah.
Damn, you might have my octaves up a little bit. I didn't even think about that. Aura points. Anyway, I felt like prior to all of this going down, I wasn't really able to speak openly about how I felt about this whole thing. So I just want to tell you guys a little bit of the narrative of how this whole thing happened. So Remo had been telling me that I should box somebody for a little while now, just because he thought that it would be good for the content, stir things up, etc., and it would probably help us to start, managing boxers or getting fighters doing stuff, more content, more conflict, more stuff that we can make content about, right? So I was already open to the idea. I get hit up by Aiden Ross and his team. They sent me a short list of people that they thought I might be open to fighting given my weight. Number one, Blueface. Immediately I was like, oh no, that's not good. Next one, Le'Veon Bell.
That's horrible.
Another one, I was like, wow, that sounds bad.
That's
no.
worse.
Next one, AB.
Who?
AB, Antonio Brown.
He in jail.
Nah. This was before that, and I think he's out. He's just facing potential attempted murder charges. Yeah, he's out still. But I saw those three, and I thought, these all seem like really bad ideas. Then I saw the next one, Jason Love. This was their idea initially. And I thought to myself, this is another person who will clearly whoop my ass. And I say that, humbly, as a person who's really never tried to learn how to fight throughout my life. Little blips there. I did boxing in Brooklyn in 2007 for like a month and a half, maybe. That was, over 20 years ago, or about 20 years ago. So that seems like a distant memory. I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu for maybe like 6 months in Long Beach. That was also like 15 years ago.
The boxing thing wasn't even worth mentioning, because doing boxing for that little bit of time, you ain't picking nothing up. And if it was 20 years ago, you really didn't remember shit. In the beginning of it, they only, you doing beginner shit. And the jiu-jitsu thing, I guess I'll believe it, but the way he was looking in that ring, he didn't look like he had no type of stance. Like, I don't know. He said he was training for 2 weeks. 2 weeks ain't really nothing. I don't know why he did that so fast. Like, maybe he would have been able to throw a couple of punches if he would have did it for longer. He probably didn't spar with nobody, you know what I'm saying? He probably was just learning, but he didn't spar, nothing like that. If you don't spar, then you don't know what to expect getting hit. Homeboy's going to say that he didn't have many fights in his life, basically. Or he didn't fight at all, whatever he said. He going to say it anyway. But if you don't spar with at least 1 or 2 people, how you gonna get in the ring and fight live in front of a bunch of people? That's gonna mess your nerves up right there alone. You going in the ring with so many people. Even though I know he used to like being in front of massive people, but you in front of massive people fighting somebody and you're saying that you don't even do this. 2 weeks? You crazy, bro. That didn't even make no sense. And you already going into it saying you scared. You know what I'm saying? Saying that he could beat you. He say he's scared, but saying that you think he could beat you already.
So basically, I'm a completely untrained fighter. Have I had some good street fights over the years? Yes. But to be fair, they were all pretty much just like drunken blurs that are really not comparable to any serious combat sport. But when I saw Jason Love on that list, I just knew that this was a guy I was willing to get my ass kicked by.
That was a smarter choice.
They said me and Munchie, Mike's up.
They're good. Because I just felt, you know what?
the other three dudes would have wrecked you. Blueface already, he's doing boxing. You know what I'm saying? So he already know, you know what I'm saying? Jason Love didn't look too much like he looked like he knew how to fight, but he didn't look like a boxer. When you put on those gloves and you swinging with those gloves on, one of those gloves got weight on it. And then two, like when you landing, if you don't know how to swing with those gloves, bro, you're going to be looking funny when you let them fly. But you could tell Jason Love did have some type of training or whatever like that. So, but Blueface and him, nah. Blueface would have wrecked you, bro, real fast. You would have been gave up after that first punch.
You gotta give the people what they want. Me fighting Blueface is just random. Me fighting AB, where it's just random. But the Jason Love one is just a narrative that I knew would be so funny, so viral, that I was willing to do it. Now, when I brought this to my wife,
That's what I was about to ask you.
I told my wife, listen, I got this offer from Aiden Ross and the Brand Risk team, and I'm thinking about doing it. And my wife looked at me and said, what the f*** are you thinking? He's gigantic. He's going to beat the out of you. And I told her, I don't really care. From my perspective, yes, there's the bag associated with doing the fight, but then also there's just so much content that we could make about this in the lead up.
Yo, homeboy next to him is so bored. He don't even look at him while he talking. He look like this is not fascinating at all to him, and it just sounds like a bunch of crock. But you're going to see how he kisses his ass a little bit during the video. But I get it. You know you trying to keep your job. I just wanted to mention real quick, that shit is crazy. You fighting a dude that had sex with your wife. He was cool with it, but you felt some type of way afterwards. And you know, your wife's telling you you're crazy too for fighting this dude. It's just, but he's right though. This would have probably one of the fights that would probably drew the most attention just because of the two, right? Him fighting the dude that like smashed his wife. So yeah, that was a good pick out of the bunch. But even on that, I think the other three dudes would have killed him too. So.
To it, that ultimately, if I get my ass kicked, I told her, I'm like, she's like, what if you get seriously hurt? I'm like, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? I'm gonna get a black eye. Maybe I get like a little mild concussion. You know, this is stuff I can handle. You know, I'm like, realistically, he's probably not gonna break my jaw.
A little bit of CT, never hurt nobody.
Which, given the way that the fight went, I actually feel really, really lucky that I didn't get my jaw broken, because that seems like much more of a realistic possibility now that I've actually been in the ring with this guy. But that's where I started out, which was basically like, I'm willing to take this fight that I kind of know I'm going to lose because of the content, because I want to provide for the people. Obviously, the bag is part of the consideration, but also I just knew that it would entertain the people so much that I felt like it was worth getting my ass kicked.
I got a couple bullet points.
One thing, I just want to get to like the shift in mind state, because then very quickly I start training with my now good friend David Kaminsky of Kaminsky Boxing, who's also a trainer for Blueface. And at first, I kind of got the vibe that David Kaminsky was training me. He was happy to be getting paid, but ultimately, I don't think he believed in me. But then he saw footage of Jason Love training. He saw Jason Love hitting the bag, and he calls me and says, Adam, you can beat this guy. His punches suck. He looks out of breath after hitting the bag. This is what the trainer's telling me. He's like, this guy, he's big, he's muscular, he's taller than you, he's got like no body fat, he's got tons of muscle all over him. But Adam, you can beat him. This is what he started to tell me. And I started to believe it. I started to think, you know what? He's right. All I got to do is go in there. I got to have good technique, good cardio. I'm going to be able to handle Jason Love. Seems a little silly in retrospect.
What was the exact moment where like things?
Nah, he really thought that cardio was going to really do it, man, because he was mentioning that in the Wack and Adam show and leading up to the fight, you know what I'm saying? He really thought that cardio was going to be enough. Obviously, it wasn't.
Shifted in the ring, and you were like, okay, this is gonna, because there's the first punch. It seems like I'm not sure if like you blocked his first punch that he threw, his little placeholder punch.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like my one thing that I was doing wrong in training is like, okay, people who know about boxing, it's all about your guard, which is where your hands are protecting yourself, And I'm watching so many fights, and I'm watching all these legendary boxers, and they've got amazing guard. Like, they're just getting pieced up, 10 punches coming in, and they just block all of them because they're so solid with this. And I did what I could to learn that, but like ultimately, and also keep in mind, I had 2 weeks to prepare for this, which is pretty absurd.
3.
Huh?
3. Don't cheat. You had 3.
2.5.
I don't think that's accurate.
It's
It's probably like 2.5 because I didn't train for like 4 days before it because he told me that you needed time to like heal up and get ready or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, like ultimately, I think that I believed that by putting my hands up, I was going to be able to take some hits and then hit him back. The first hit that I take, you see my arms go from this to this. He just hit so much harder than I ever could have really realized was possible.
I just want to stop it real quick. I mean, he said this a little minute ago, but you heard he said he was watching clips with legendary fighters, right? And you also see Munchie start to shit on him. But let's keep it going.
Yeah, that was pretty much the moment where I was like, what the was I thinking?
I think 2017 Adam would have put up a nice little fight.
Hell no! I was doing drugs back then. I don't know, bro.
I want to hear this. Like, what happened? What was 2017? What you were seeing?
Look.
I was younger.
He was doing drugs, but he was just more like, like
Jacked.
he was around like the street dudes and
What?
he was like,
He ain't now?
No,
Yeah,
way more around the street dudes. Back then, I was around like the little SoundCloud kids.
I feel like back then you had that ambition. You get what I'm saying? Like he done got more comfortable with being like, a white guy.
Jokes.
A white guy in the hills sipping his Starbucks cup with his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like he done got like real
Yeah. First of all, the Hobie sounds stupid. He'll make no sense with nothing what he's saying right now. But did you see Adam's face? Let's take it back 10 seconds. Look at Adam's face when Munchie says in the background gay jokes. Watch his face real quick. And I don't even know if y'all heard that. See if y'all can hear that. I'm gonna play it right back.
ambition. You get what I'm saying? Like he done got more comfortable with being like, a white guy in the hills sipping his Starbucks cup with his wife.
Did you catch it? If y'all didn't catch it, I want to play it back one more time. That shit was hilarious.
You get what I'm saying? Like he done got more comfortable with being like, a white guy in the hills sipping his Starbucks cup with his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like he done got like real compatible with life.
That is part of it for sure that I realized when that first hit landed where I was like, oh, fuck.
You could just tell by like the way like you was running, like you could tell like
The way he was running.
No, like
Dude, I was doing that in sparring too. That's like, my trainer freaked out on me. He's like, bro, you can't get hit and then just start turning away. And he was even telling me, bro, like when you get hit, you close your eyes and you like look down. He's like, you can't do that. You have to stay focused straight ahead. I don't know. Like I just, even in the fight, like I got hit hard one time. I started turning my back.
So
It's
you thought it was gonna be a defensive fight? You just counter everything, go block, throw some back, boom, y'all go exchange punches. That's what you figured.
I mean, I watched so many fights in the lead up to this, and I'm watching these warriors just standing in front of each other, just trading punches and blocking punches, and everybody kept telling me, like, Adam, all you got to do is punch him in the kidney, punch him in the liver, or whatever.
That sounds easy, huh?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's talking about that like it's the easiest thing in the world. And when I got that first hit, it was just like, oh, hell no. There's no way. Because all these fights I watched, I didn't see any fight where the other dude just came out and just immediately just started swinging on the
Mike
other
Tyson?
dude. I didn't
Except
really.
for him.
I didn't watch a lot of like Mike Tyson because I'm thinking I was trying to watch like influencer fights and like like fights that maybe would be like a little closer.
So who the main influencer you was watching? Jake Paul?
Even him, he's like pretty good at this
Scam like
point.
me?
No, because this is like tiny. That's like not really applicable. But yeah, I mean, ultimately,
My boy Adam couldn't answer that because he was full of shit. He wasn't really watching fighters like that. And if he was skimming through it. That's one. Because if you was, you couldn't mention a couple of them. Two, Munchie is shitting on him.
As soon as I got hit, I was just like, oh, hell no. I can't believe that I really like allowed myself to start to believe that I was going to be able to win this.
Bro, you lost before you even entered the ring, even thinking and talking like that, though, bro.
I'm talking to you right now about what I felt after the fight. Before the fight, you got to pay better attention. I'm telling you how I was so confident going into it.
You said you picked the one that will whoop your ass the least out of the four.
I don't know about that.
Him or Blueface, debatable. I mean, like professional athletes.
I've been in the gym with Blueface a lot, and he's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, Blueface got it, bro.
The old Blueface that was skinny, maybe a little bit of a point.
So then,
Blueface,
Le'Veon Bell's the running back.
Yes.
He pushing through lineman, the defensive line, bro.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
There's two NFL players.
He's been out of it for a while, but I mean, you're not just like an elite NFL player, and then you just like forget all that. No, like you are strong as and like super durable as a result of having had that career, for sure.
But we also, Jason Love's a Marine, right? You got Simplify tatted all over his body, which
he got what?
You
see how he kind of like trying to shit on Munchie? Like when he says something, he trying to correct them and like, you got to listen better. He is listening well. He catching everything you say, homie. And then when he said he'd be the least, like the one that'll beat you the least, I guess. He was like, nah. But when they ran through that list, yeah, that was true. You even agree with it. So why is you shitting on this dude? You mad because he pointing you out? He calling you out with a lot of stuff. But I respect it.
This is the saying of the Marines.
Yeah, he was a sniper in the Marines, which probably means that he has killed.
Oh, for sure. He got hats, even in the list.
You know,
I ain't got that much confidence in him, and I think, like you proposed, if Blueface took that back fade, Blueface will whoop him, bro.
I do think Blueface would have a really, really good shot against him for sure.
I think he'll win.
I'm actually deeply invested in the future Jason Love fighting saga because I really want to know like where he goes from here.
Well, that kind of just anyone whose ass that he whips after you, it validates what happened to you. So it's like
no, it don't. Cause
dude.
Nah, because I didn't even put up a fight like that, bro. So that's not a real metric.
Well, if let's say he did the same thing he did to me to Blueface, then okay, I guess that makes me look a little bit better.
You sound crazy. He's gonna do to Blueface what he did to you, bro. You didn't take a punch, bro. You didn't swing once. I do not see Blueface doing nothing you did. Ain't nothing gonna validate it, bro. You didn't swing. If you would have at least swung, hung in there, took a couple of shots, and swung back. Really, that's mostly what it was. Then you would have been good. But the way you did it wasn't good, homie. Just keeping it 100.
But ultimately, like, I know I looked like I know I'm not a fighter. I went my whole life not fighting until like 2-3 weeks ago. So it is kind of weird to see people being like, Adam is such a coward. Like, now we know that you are like this kind of guy. It's like, I was always pretty open about the fact that, like, never have I ever sat on this podcast and talked about how I was so tough. That's just never been part of my podcast. And now I have said that I would be able to beat the shit out of little miniature Labubu sized people like Sauce Walker. That's different. But I've never bragged about my
Sauce Walker small.
Tiny. He's tinier than you. Yeah, he's like an 8-year-old.
Yeah, he's probably like what, 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah, he's 5'8".
Oh, that nigga crazy.
He do hard drugs and he hangs out with prostitutes at rest stops. But either way, all I'm saying, I don't have any shame about this at all. Like, to me, actually, I'm not embarrassed about how it went down. I faced a challenge head on. And actually, okay, this is my main thing, too.
For Spody.
Oh, Spody just wandering. Yeah. He got his ass in hot water.
Yeah.
Don't dunk in your face on that.
Spody's rider is crazy.
Man. Spody face rider. Recapping the fight. Okay.
That's fade.
This is one thing that I feel is hypocritical. You guys tell me if this is true or not. In jail, in prison, you walk into the dorm. You say you're me, and I'm from blank hood, and a big ass dude, 6'10", comes up to me and says, "Hey, you from over there? Well, I'm from over here, and we enemies, so we got to get down." And I say, "All right, bet." And we squabble, and he whoops the shit out of me. This is an honorable act, right? That I was down to run the fade, even if I, going into it, knew that I had no chance, right?
I mean, that's a fact. In my personal opinion, that's what's taking out the culture now. You know, these kids and these guys, they feel like if you lose a fight, that makes you less than. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was growing up, it didn't matter if you really won or lost. You tried your hardest, but it was just respect. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you got out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I respect. But
also, I didn't throw a punch, and I looked like absolute. So I want to acknowledge that. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, from a gang, because I feel like I see so many gangsters being like, you look like a clown. It's like, right, this is what y'all have been telling me all these years. Yeah. You got to run the fade, even if you know you're gonna lose.
Yeah, but in all fairness to you, majority of these gangsters you talking about, they ain't even pulled up for their squabbles though.
Hey, he said it, not me.
So in my words, you know what I mean? I respect you. You know what I'm saying, more than a lot of these dudes out here that's running from their phase.
Now, I do think it's also fair to say it's not like I did it for honor. I really did it for attention and money, which is like not really the honorable reason to do something.
So it all came out.
Fire.
Yeah, I mean, I would go crazy if I was denying that.
Some people thought you did it for honor?
No, I was just saying, like, in the case of a gang member, you take your squabble because you have pride in where you're from, etc. So you got to run this fade even if you're not going to.
All right. I'm going to end it right there. I just got a couple more things to close it out. But just to say, homeboy came into the picture and he ain't had nothing good to it. It was just him kissing his ass. Adam surrounded by 3 ass kissers. This dude, Lush, and the dude, Spody Face. That's who just walked in. Munchie is the only one that's speaking his mind. And what he just said, yes, if you go into prison and if that was the scenario, if you run in jail or whatever, and somebody asks you for a fade and you squabble and you get your ass kicked, yes, it's respect. Bro, but you didn't squabble. You went in the ring and you folded. You didn't even throw a punch. That's where the jokes come in. If you would have put up I don't think nobody thought you were going to win that anyway, but if you would have put up a fight, sorry, sick, getting over something, or getting into something, not sure. If you put up a fight, people would have respect that, bro. Gave a couple of swings, even if you wouldn't have landed, even if you didn't miss, even if you would have missed, bro. If you would have put up a couple of swings, bro, something. Even the Island Boys was swinging, and them dudes don't know how to fight for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. Just a bad look on that. But I know you don't really care about that. For you, it's just you got that. Was able to do some videos about it, leading up to it and afterwards. Because if you would have took it seriously, you would have probably watched some real fighters videos. So you could see what to do and what not to do. And you would have probably, trained a little bit harder and probably waited a little bit longer. But your numbers was probably dropping and you needed something to kind of lift you up. But anyway, we're going to leave it there. Till next time, guys, be good, be safe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.